Hey everybody, it's Kneecap here, and welcome to This Week in WoW for the week of May 13th. Before we get started, let's go ahead and shout out the lovely Patreon supporters. We have Mario Casillas, Rep Pelly Rocks, Nick Rada, and Peter Burnham. Thank you guys so much for that support. And now, let's hop in and talk about what's going on this week in the game. This week is, of course, the day of the Turbo Boost, and we'll spend most of the video talking about that, but let's talk about the smaller things going on first. We do have the event this week being Timewalking Dungeon event, and it's classic Timewalking. So they added this during the 20th anniversary. I'm glad that this is sticking around. You can maybe it's been back since then, but I haven't seen it. Classic Timewalking is back, so you can do some of those classic dungeons, which I think is kind of fun to do. Very nostalgia-like, at least. Even if it's much different with all this gear and all this stuff being different these days. The PvP brawl this week is the Shadowpan Showdown, so you can take part in that if you need to. We just had a really good PvP week, though, for as far as getting honor and stuff like that here recently. But if you still want to, you can, of course, take part in that. Other than that, there's not a ton of stuff going on in the game other than, of course, the Turbo Boost that comes out today. Now, if you're not sure at all about the Turbo Boost, I did do a video covering, what you can do with the Turbo Boost, trading your Valor Stones, building up your crest, trading up your crests, all that kind of stuff. So basically, I'll give you a very short version of it, is your crests are now going to be uncapped. Your Valor Stones are going to be Warband transferable at a slight penalty, like a 25% penalty or something like that. So if you trade 100 crests, you only get 75 of them. It's like a little currency exchange penalty there. Hate it or love that. That's just what exists. So you can trade Valor Stones from your alt or to your alts from your main. And so we have the crests uncapped. We have the Valor Stones tradable now across your warband. They're not just tradable to anybody. You can't buy them on the auction house, but tradable across your warband. And then we also have what the actual power gain is hero and myth track gear will have their item levels increase. So if we look at, let's just say, my trinket here, because this is going to be something I upgrade quickly here. The pacemaker. So it's at 678. And it's at 6 to 6. It'll turn into 6 out of 8, and I'll be able to upgrade that to 684 with 30 more gilded crests. And so if you have anything on hero track or myth track, it goes from being out of 6 upgrade slots to 8 upgrade slots. That's anything you're wearing, anything you have. If it's 1 out of 6, it gets upgraded to 1 out of 8. And then you have 7 tracks to go to fill it up. So this is going to give everyone who does higher end content, at least high enough to get hero track gear, a huge boost of power, honestly. And you'll be able to crack, there's no cap. So you'll be able to just farm any crests you need. If you just want to do this in a day, you can basically do it in a day if you'd like to. And you can just, cap out all your gear and gain 6 item levels, essentially, if you choose to do so. So Valor Stones will probably be the biggest thing stopping you. I did the video for some people, if they saw it early, to be able to build up Valor Stones on their alts, because then you will be able to transfer them if you need to. But yeah, this is going to be a huge power boost coming in, and it's right before next week, where we'll also be getting the corruption enchants from the horrific visions, which are also going to be like at 2% or 4%. I don't know where the latest numbers are at, but a small but meaningful damage increase as well with these new enchants coming out with the corruption from the horrific visions back in what is it, Battle for Azeroth now. Is that how far back that was? So yeah, it'll be quite a huge power gain here, and honestly it's very big. And then in the next patch we also get this disc belt, which I've played around with on the PTR, so I kind of know how that works. Waiting a little bit closer to time till that patch comes out before I make a video about it, but I have played with that and kind of know how that disc belt works as well. It's going to be another power gain. So this is so much power gain. It's honestly weird to me. It almost feels like we're going to get like a mini raid or something like that we need more item level for, like a 1 or 2 boss raid. That's not going to happen. Like, I'm 99% sure that's not going to happen, but that's what it feels like, because we are getting this huge power spike. I think the point of it is to just make sure people can progress through things and continue progressing in Mythic Plus. So like the season doesn't just end in Mythic Plus. You can keep playing as you continue your gear progression. And that's kind of how things have worked in Mythic rating for a long time, because there's a lot of like the Hall of Fame, yeah, that gets done in like a month or two. But everyone else after that, that's more of a long process. It's a month-long process. And for people, even people, there's people who slowly progress AOTC. There's people at all levels of the game, right? And so what normally happens though is bosses get nerfed and nerfed and nerfed and nerfed until, you know, the same people who normally kill it basically. And then, but in this case, it seems more, they are still doing tactical nerfs, but it seems like more what they're trying to do is increase people's power slowly over the course of the patch. So, but this is like a lot of power. So it just sets off a little bit of alarm bells for me because of how much power it is. And it strikes me as something that they're trying out, but this is something that they could also do in the future that wouldn't cause any kind of problems for like the super high end or the competitive end. Because if you wait until a few months and then increase item level maxing, that doesn't really hurt anybody. And of course it extends the Mythic Plus season. So people are going to be pushing keys higher. Then they're going to get the corruption enchants. They're going to push the keys higher. Then they're going to get the belt and they're going to push keys higher, right? Maybe just one key higher with the belt or something like that, right? It's going to be interesting to say the least. They're throwing a lot of stuff at us here. Literally 3 things of power, with 6 item levels probably being the most significant here. And it strikes me as something is going on. Something else is going on that we don't know about. Maybe they're preparing for a level squish anyways in the next expansion, and everything's going to get squished back down. So they're just saying, hey, let's just throw everything at the wall this expansion. They can get as much power as they want, and then we're going to squish it back down, because we are going to have to get a squish at some point here. So maybe they're just going to do the squish. I have no idea. But it definitely is raising some alarm bells to me that there's something going on, something purposefully going on, because they normally wouldn't do this much power gain, because then they have to tune the next raid at a higher level as well, and tune the next dungeons and everything like that at a higher level. So it's just a little bit odd. So I'm just curious to see where we go with this. So another thing being thrown at us is the Cartel Chips will also be coming out. We're not going to spend a ton of time on these because these are very hotly contested issue, but the first one will be available from a quest. You have to defeat either dungeon boss or dungeons, Mythic Plus dungeons, or 4 Mythic raid bosses, and the dungeons have to be like on plus 12 or something like that. And then you'll get your first Cartel Chip, and then you'll get 1 per week after that, and you'll get 2 more, or you have to turn in multiple or whatever. But so you'll get 3 total Cartel Chips, and this will just be unlocked this week. Of course, this is a highly contested issue now, but if it helps you or affects you in a good way, it's good to know that it is coming out today. Other than that, of course, waiting for any kind of other news that comes out. Horrific Vision stuff, that's going to be next week. I will have I plan on doing guides like on how to do Horrific Visions as a Rat Paladin the best way. Maybe even a guide on how to do Horrific Visions quickly and effectively, or solo, right? Things like that. I really enjoyed Horrific Visions back in the day, and I imagine I probably still will. I really love that type of content, starting with the deaths of Chromie, which a lot of people didn't end up doing, but I did, and it was really, really fun. I kind of like that stuff, so we'll see. And then, yeah, we've had news of Legion Remix being confirmed as well. I think that's worth mentioning in this video. More to come on that, I'm sure, but Legion Remix. And we had news, again, it's worth pointing out before we end the video here, we had news of another new mode coming. So similar to Plunderstorm and the remixes, right? Like you click on a different mode on the screen. This isn't going to be PvP Battle Royale. This is they just said it's like a scary storytelling thing. And I almost wonder if there's going to be, there was some data mine Vampire Survivors stuff back in the day, and I wonder if this is what that's going to be. Like a spooky story way, like Vampire Survivors with a storyline, right? I wonder if that's what it's going to be. So I will be keeping my ear to the ground on that as well. And yeah, there's just lots of stuff for this for this early summer time here that'll be coming, more than normal at least, as we go through this patch cycle. So just keeping my ear to the ground for everything, and we'll let you know, news as I receive it. So that'll be it for this one, guys. As always, I do ask you to please subscribe to the channel. It helps me out a lot. If you're already a subscriber, I encourage you to check out the Patreon. And other than that, everybody, have a good one.